Hi everyone, it's Karen. I'm back with my second design team project for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy, and for this month, the month of May. And I will leave links to Kim's beautiful shop in the description box below, so please go and check out her shop and check out all the other designers who are currently designing for her. And you will find they're all making just beautiful inspirational projects, so you'll want to go and check them out, and all their links will be below in the description box. And so for my second project this month, I decided to do a couple of little wall hangings. Measurements, so they measure about 4 inches across from here to here, not including this little purple or lavender ruffle, and then they're about 8 inches tall, so 4 by 8. And I did measure them right to the bottom of the ruffles here, just because it was difficult to determine where the edge of this part ends. So I just started with a backing of some, on this one is some fabric, and this is actually one of the fabric samples that is, Kim has more of these in the shop. They're handy little things, and they also work well for wall hangings, and I've shown them also using them for journal covers. So I started out with a piece of that fabric, then added the beautiful purple tulle pleated trim that she has in the shop. It was beautiful on there, and there's a little pearl string handle there. And then I started doing the front. Now, these are not just your normal wall hanging. What I decided to create was a wall hanging where you could change the picture. The outer part stays intact, but the picture inside gets changed. There's like a little pocket in there that it fits in. And part of the embellishment is also on the picture. So looking at this right now, you would be it would be very hard for you to tell what is actually part of the actual frame of the picture and what is actually part of the picture itself. Obviously, the yellow rose and the lilacs are part of the picture. But I'll show you in a second, and I'm going to show you that I can change it because I made a second one to go inside. So on the outside again is this beautiful crocheted trim, and this is from one of the doilies, and I've cut it off the outer edge of the doily, and I did that on my other project. I did that around the edge of the little journal that I did for the first part of this month. So you can go back and have a look at that if you want to see how I use this crocheted trim for trim on that. And the inner part of the doily, I use it with other applications. Like I think this is part of the inner part of the doily is right here. So it's not like it's wasted. Oh, look at that. You see, when you're designing, sometimes you put things in place and you think that you've glued them down, and you in actual fact haven't glued them down. Okay, I think it's glued down now. Then I used pieces of that fabric piece of lace that she had sent me, and again I used a lot of that to make the nice pockets in my project I made earlier this month, and I had a little bit of it left, so I used it here around the edge of this little decorative area here, and on top of the doily here for a little bit more texture and a little bit more interest. And then there's another small doily under here, and then there's a little bit more of that lacy stuff, and then there's one of my little tatted butterflies sitting there. And then this trim was also in Kim's shop. She had it briefly, of course, because it's very popular and it sold out, but I did have this piece left and it fit perfectly here, so I used it. This is another trim from her shop, this one here with the zigzags, but it's sort of one whole piece, and I just cut it apart from each other to make two separate pieces, and I use those as part of the edging to my pocket on this particular design. And I added in my own flat back pearls in 2 different sizes along the edge here. And at the top here, this white loopy trim was something Kim sent me in my design team package, and then I added a little piece of this trim, which is a Hobby Lobby trim. The bottom of this creates part of the pocket. So again, I did a collection of her beautiful flowers, and these were what was left in the package that I got that I didn't use on the front of my little trifold journal folder that I made earlier this month. And so it was all in the purple and lavender, so it went beautifully with this and with this picture. And so it's a collection here, and then I added in a few more of my mauve little paper flowers that I had. I added in a lot of the leaves that she sent. I added in some of the pearl string that I had from her shop. And then this lace at the bottom with this, it's got the lace and the fabric, and then it's got the pearls that are into the fabric with the metal backings. That's all from her shop. And then I added in this trim from the top that's loopy here, and it actually is loopy on both sides. It's underneath here and creates part of the pocket for this design, but what I really wanted to show on this was the beautiful bead dangles that it had on it, which I cut off to use to make it for the top here. I didn't need the dangles at the top, but there's 3 of them dangling out the bottom here with these pretty beads. And then again, used more of that lace fabric that I had left, and I created some little scrappy flowers that are tucked in here underneath this one that is created with the polka dot trim, tulle trim from her shop, just gathered up into a circle. And then I added in some little pieces of that lace from her shop, just tucking it in here and there. And then the very center is this same zigzag trim here, but I've cut each piece separately and I've made it into a sort of a 6-petal little flower there, and then added a paper rose in the center. And these little ones have little pearls added in the center, but they're just scrappy bits that I gathered up and just tucked in there to make that look more, sort of join in with the florals going up on this side. Now, this piece that you see here is actually attached to here, as are these pieces here. So when I remove this photo, those will go away, and when I put in the new picture, then there will be a different look to it. So right now, this is what this looks like, and this is how it comes apart. So these zigzags on the side create sort of the side of the pocket. This at the top here creates the top of the pocket. I'll just show you. What you do is just glue along the top part so the lower part can flip up, and this pops out, and you can see here, this is where I just attached that piece that it was loose. So this is all attached to the actual photo in the bottom. Then I lift it up here, and this slides out of the pocket at the bottom. So there is a pocket created in the bottom here with that everything, the picture slides into. So this is the outer core. This is what you're left with. And this is the piece that I just lifted out. So this piece has these florals, this little scrappy flower, this doily flower, but I've left it loose on the bottom because I need the picture to slide into place and then this to tuck into place. So I'll show you that. I put the bottom in first. So I flip this up and I slide this into place. And there's that piece of trim from Kim's shop with the other one on top, and it creates the pocket again, just like at the top. So this slides into place. You can see this little flower here needs to be tucked up and pulled over top of the little pocket. That puts it in place. And I won't do anything else for the moment. I'm going to slide my fingers up the sides and pull this little pocket lace that I have here on the sides all the way up. And then this is going to tuck in at the top. And just with a little bit of a bend on the cardstock, it's done on cardstock, to put it in there. So then you just start fluffing. So you can see here this lace, side lace, is trapped here underneath. So that would be pulled out. And there it's lying all in place now. And the same on this side. Little butterfly I like over the top, so just pull that up over the top. And then as we get down here, this is all laying in place pretty good. There's a little bit tucked in here that I'm gonna pull out. A little triangle there. And then you can see the picture's in place, but this is loose because this gets tucked in underneath here. So then it takes on the appearance that it's part of this collection of flowers. And then this little flower here, I just tuck it out this way, and there we are. Everything's back in place. I'm gonna remove that one, and I'm gonna show you what the second one looks like. So that little one can go away. Maybe we've had that out for a while and we want to put something different in it. So this is the second one I made. So this again, oh, lovely glue strings. So this again is a printed cardstock. This is a couple of different images that was in part of actually the kit that I did for the earlier this month with the little flip journal, all in lilacs. So I used this image and the card, and I put it on I put it on the paper that was in the package, part of the packaging for the flowers from AngeldreamCraftsKim. She was very smart to use a paper that actually was usable. It's quite pretty, and it was the right color, so I used it as my backing. I did cut a little piece out here because of the way I wanted it to sit, and you don't see that in the final product, so it's not a big deal. So this one has this image mounted onto there. Then I used a doily. Then I used a little bit of that fabric again, and just to tuck in behind this little paper flower. It's just one of the pieces of a paper flower. I just took it apart and used one, and then added a bit of lace and a little ceramic flower in the center. And then there's a couple of little of the paper flowers here, paper roses. And then this one has one of my little beaded butterflies on it. And so again, this one fits exactly the same way. It fits into the pocket at the bottom. So there's that pocket. It's created with that trim. And then you can see these are wanting to come up the side, which is exactly where they're supposed to be. So I'm gonna let these ones all come up here. That's the zigzag with the pearls on it. That's on the side. This one the same. So it's all tucked in at the bottom. And now we have to do the top corners. So again, underneath and in place it sits. This one is a little bit smaller than the other one, so it's a little easier actually to get in, but it's all the way that they just turn out when you're making it. It's not all, like, it's not perfect science. But so then with this one, I like the doily on top, so I reposition the doily and fluff it all up, and the little butterfly as well. And you can see that little cutout area is completely not noticeable anymore. It was actually a bit dark from this image, and I didn't like how it peeked through there, and so I just got rid of it. And there is the second photo in this particular one. So you can see it looks very different from the first one that had the beautiful yellow rose and the lilacs. And this one has the lady in amongst the lilacs, and then the extra lilac going up the side. Otherwise, this is all the same, but this changed here, and the photo changed. And I just thought it was such a cool idea. I didn't see it anywhere. I'm sure I didn't think of it. I just did not see it anywhere. I just was playing around and had a couple of pictures that I liked both of them, and I thought, why do I have to choose? I don't have to choose. I can use both of them. That is the first one that I made, and that would be the set, how it would go, and you'd have those choices. And then I was having so much fun, of course. Those were all the laces and trims that were actually in my design team package, but of course I had some left from last month, and so I decided to play with those and do this one. So this one I think is maybe a little bit wider, but again, it's just a piece of fabric on the back that you use to make sort of your base, and this one has one of her doilies on top of it from a previous design team package. And then some of her beautiful pink tulle around the edge, the beautiful sort of, I think she calls it ivory in the Etsy shop, but it does sort of have a bit of a yellow tint to it. I love it though, it's so pretty and has the pearls on it, and it's on a gross grain ribbon. So that's what I used to make the top of the pocket on this one. It's nice to use something that has a bit of firmness to it to create your pockets. And then it has that beautiful ivy trim down the side with parts of the pink flowers cut out of that pink fabric lace that she's selling. This is another one that was in her shop. I think she might be getting these back, or she's also got them in kits, these beautiful sort of cotton crocheted flowers. And this trim behind here was in her shop too. And this is a flower that Kim made for me I think it's over a year ago, one of her flowers, and I loved it. And I just took it had a simple, pretty little sparkly center in it. I took it out and I made a rolled rose myself out of satin and added a pearl center. I just felt it fit better with this design. And then again, I've got this beautiful ivy trim trailing down here with some of the flowers from that trim cut out separately and added in, and then some little, I keep forgetting the name of these things, little ceramic little flowers. These are from my stash. She has some in the shop, but I happen to have a few in different colors in my own stash that I'm using. And then on this side, you can see another one of those beautiful cotton doily flowers, and then another one of the pink flowers peeking out there. This trim at the bottom that creates the dangle was also in her shop. I'm not sure, she still might have some of that in there. And it's a very pretty dangle trim. And then again, the ivy trim up the side with, I'm just going to attach this little, because it's loose. There. Again, I cut the flowers separately and I added them in different spots. This one actually is part of the lace. This one's separate. And I added little flat back pearls onto those as well. And then I added one of my little beaded butterflies on this one. And then this flat beaded trim is from my stash. And it just helped create the pocket on the side and a little bit more stiffness here at the bottom to create the pocket. And so this is the first image that I'm going to show you that I'm putting in this one. This also was in that pack of digital downloads that I purchased to do my project earlier this month. And I just love this little journaling card with this little girl with the florals, and it really fit pretty in here. I used Kim's pink lace like this one. I used it behind this lace that I had in my stash so that it really reflects a lot of pink through here, which was what I wanted to bring into the picture. And then this is just a little piece of lace from my stash, from my scrap bag, that I wanted to have something on the bottom, particularly the little scallop at the top. And then again, the process is the same. You want to tuck your photo into your bottom pocket, however you've created it, and that's been created in the bottom here. You can see there's a pocket's been created because you glue everything on the outside but not on the inside, so it allows you to create a pocket. So tuck that in there, and then this is I want it to come up there. This is the actual side of it here. And this petal here is not glued down, so that this petal can be pulled over the top, as can this one, which helps hold your picture in place. And then again, flipping up the top, flipping up that trim with the gross grain ribbon on the back, which helps create the pocket at the top. And we spread that all down nicely and flatten that out. And then this side has a little bit of that pearl trim again to come in place there. Make sure the leaves from the ivy trim is all up, and there she is, all in place. And they do stay in place. It's not like they fall forward or fall out when you're would go to hang it up. They're deeply enough in the pocket that you create top and bottom. See, this lace here is actually on the card. So when you look at this, you think this is actually part of the frame. It's very hard to tell that until you take it out of here that this is actually on your picture. But by adding that in, it just helps bring this all together more, and there isn't such I don't know, I just felt it was quite abrupt, and sometimes you could see the edge of the card peeking out from underneath your pocket if you don't get it exactly sized right. And so by adding the trims and stuff onto your actual picture, you avoid that problem. So that's the first one, that fits in this frame. And then the second one I did really, really, really simple, just because I'm, on your second one and I was running out of time, but I easily could embellish it more. It's just a really simple photo, but very pretty. And it has some nice coloring. And I wanted to show too that if you want to style it and not add anything at all to your card, you can do that. It's just in your design how you're going to do that. You can see here these little beads were kind of tucked underneath, so I just pulled them to the top. Again, make sure all these little leaves are on top, not underneath your picture, because that's almost part of how the pocket is created, is by leaving out some of these. Same here, if you can see this little petal here, it's trapped under the edge of the card. So I would pull that up, and again, that's helping to hold that picture in place. This one's on top where it should be, the pearls are on top, and then up to the top there. And then pull that tool down, and there you have your second one. And again, they're very secure, they stay in really well, they're not falling out, they're not going anywhere. And you could make as many as you wanted to change up the photo, depending on the colors that you decide to put in your color scheme. Even though this one's in the pinks and blues and a bit of yellow, I really feel that this photo still looks really beautiful in here, so it doesn't have to be completely matchy. And I will just bring back this one. This is the purple one. You can see it is a little bit smaller, but it's all in your design. And how this one, I did quite a sweeping design and a little bit longer dangle, so it gives the appearance that it's bigger too. But I think the bases on them are pretty similar in size. So that is what I designed for using the beautiful products from AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. And I always find, I have to say, I find that quite the mouthful to say. I get my tongue twisted around that quite often, and I've had to do many edits because I have not said it correctly. It comes out wrong. AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. Wonderful shop. She's wonderful to deal with. She is very kind, and she loves to craft, and she will help you if you have some things that you want to put together and you're wanting a kit idea. She is putting kits together, and I'm sure she can help you come up with something that, you know, if you wanted to try and create something like this, you would need, you know, some of these supplies to be able to do that, and I'm sure she could help you. And I know that she has some photos and things in her shop that she probably could help you out with that as well, if you don't have anything to make for your to put in your pictures. These are all digital downloads, so they're easy to do, yeah, as long as of course you have a printer or access to a printer of some kind. So again, go to the shop, check her out, talk with Kim. There's a way to message her through Etsy, and so you can talk to her about anything. And if you have any questions about anything I've created or a product that I use that you're not sure of, just put it in the comment section below. I'll be sure to get back to you. And check out all the designers. They're creating beautiful projects to inspire. And I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week, and we'll have a great weekend ahead. And we're going to have a lot of fun next month. We have a birthday celebration coming up for the shop, and we have surprises that are going to be going on and giveaways. So stay tuned for next month for lots of big announcements and lots of fun. Talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.